One thing, Dr. Malpani, the challenge that I see also is, it's you have a working class that requires a certain pedigree. Okay, oh, my son has to go to IIT, my son has to go to VJIT, my son has to go to VIT. So everything is an IT everywhere. Is that So the real challenge, what I find is, even that needs to be broken, right? Because there's a whole point that I was just listening to Salman Khan of Khan Academy. He said, how do you build something when your foundation is not strong, right? So therefore we are all building the final working class, okay, whose foundation itself is not strong, and now we are expecting them to build world class products, world class companies, when I don't even know my foundation is strong, right? So therefore the real challenge is, at one end we have to change. It's almost like saying you have to burn both sides of the rope. At one end you have to break this, and you need at the other end a massive movement on the workplace, where I think a certain work ethic and a culture which probably the US had in its 1920s, okay, where they really went into the fundamental sciences which actually changed the course of America. Okay, I think we need that at this side of the workplace, and I think, do you think that's very, very critical?
So I think the answer to that is yes. But I think we need to start one baby step at a time, because if you try to solve too many problems at one time, it's going to become increasingly hard, which is why it's so important to create success stories. Right now, what else was available? You looked up to someone who is an IS officer. Oh, uska bacha IS ban gaya hai. Because that was true. But I think now gradually more and more parents are getting very disillusioned with the entire education system. हाँ, बच्चे को तो ग्रेजुएट बना दिया लेकिन उसको जॉब नहीं मिल रहा है. So what was the point? So to your question, I think it takes time for wisdom to dawn. Some people can see the leading indicators well in advance. And that's one of the reasons why Google, for example, does not care about whatever your educational background is. They care about whether you're capable of doing what we need you to do. Show us your competence, which is why I think a lot of it is now changing to micro skill certification rather than degrees. Is the change going to happen quickly? Of course not. By definition, there is a lot of inertia in society, and that's absolutely fine. I think even if we can start changing 1%, a lot of this will have a trickle down effect. A lot of it will have an effect which starts with success stories, that this villager who came from nowhere actually started a company which is now making money, which is being actually profitable. I think we should be realistic that the pace of change is not ever going to be as fast as we want it to be. We live in comfortable houses, we live in air conditioned towers, and for a people who are struggling to make ends meet, I understand their challenges are different. As a result of which, we're not trying to thrust anything down them. We're not trying to superimpose anything. We're saying this is a playground. It's a technology enabled playground to help you learn. Go play and see what happens. As a result, and the reality is you're already seeing some of these positive deviants. A great example is Zoho School. I don't know whether you're aware of this, but Zoho is actually saying, we have all these 12th standard, whatever kids. We don't really care about anything else. If these are the requirements you meet, we're happy to give you a scholarship. We're happy to even give you a job down the road. Just imagine that entire signaling is starting to change. Is one Zoho school enough? Of course not. You're going to need 100,000 Zoho schools. But I think this change is already starting to happen. And when does the change happen? It happens when people are dissatisfied with the status quo. And I think you're increasingly seeing signs of dissatisfaction. It's just more and more obvious in your face. It used to be that, मेरा बच्चा बड़ा होगा, पढ़ेगा, उसको job मिलेगा, secure income मिलेगा. Everyone understands you don't get jobs just because you graduate. Everyone understands that the job has no security anymore. You have a job today and, you'll mostly get fired after 2 years. So I think people's mindsets are changing. Will it take time to change? Of course it will. And I think that's absolutely fine. It can't happen faster than we want it to, because disruption is painful. But I think some of these changes will be incremental. We're already seeing that. It's like he said, Gibson said, the future is already here. It's only unevenly distributed. So I think you're already seeing certain pockets where it's starting to happen. Maybe today you're seeing it in the IT field, but just a matter of time where you'll start seeing it in other fields as well. Just a matter of time, honestly.